idiot here and not so shy.
Grandparents, srimadbhagavatam ki jai. Always the SanDiego. Hare Krishna. Always the SanDiego. Hare Krishna.
All blazing temples of
Jai Krishna.
Jai Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga.
Jai Shri Guru Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Third canto, Tell Status Quo, Chapter 33, Activities of the Field, on text 22. Tam eva dhyayati devam.
Tam eva dhyayati devam.
Apatyam kapilam harim.
Apatyam kapilam harim.
Bhuvachirito vatsa.
Bhuvachirito vatsa.
Nispriha tadrishe grihe.
Nispriha tadrishe grihe.
Tameva dhyayati devam.
Tameva dhyayati devam.
Apatyam kapilam harim.
Apatyam kapilam harim.
Bhuvachirito vatsa.
Bhuvachirito vatsa.
Nispriha tadrishe grihe.
Nispriya tadrishe grihe.
Tameva dhyayati devam.
Tameva dhyayati devam.
Apatyam kapilam harim.
Apatyam kapilam harim.
Bhuvachirito vatsa.
Bhuvachirito vatsya.
Nispriha tadrishe grihe.
Nispriha tadrishe grihe.
Third line, can you check? Is it Bahubacharita or Bahu? You're pronouncing different.
It's how am I pronouncing it? Long A?
You said Bahuba. I said Bahu, B-A-B.
It's spelled here B-A-B-H-U.
Okay. You're pronouncing Bahuba.
Oh, really?
Bahuba, no?
Oh, I thought it was Babu Ba Chirito Vatsa.
Tameva dhyayati devam.
Tameva dhyayati devam.
Apatyam kapilam harim.
Apatyam kapilam harim.
Bhuvacharita vatsa.
Bhuvachirito vatsa.
Nispriya tadrishe grihe.
Nispriha tadrishe grihe.
Tameva dhyayati devam.
Tameva dhyayati devam.
Apatyam kapilam harim.
Apatyam kapilam harim. Bhuvacharito vatsya. Nispraha tadrishe grihe. Tameva dhyayati devam.
Tameva dhyayati devam.
Apatyam kapilam harim.
Apatyam kapilam harim.
Bhuvachirito vatsa.
Bhuvacharita vatsa.
Nispraha tadrishe grihe.
Nispriya tadrishe grihe.
Yeah, I was doing that. I was doing Babu Ba, but it's not. It's a short A. That's what I was doing wrong. Babu Ba Chirito Vatsa. I was doing Babu. That's wrong. Sorry about that. Okay, so word by word. Tam upon him.
Upon him.
Eva.
Certainly.
Dhyayati.
Meditating.
Devam. Divine.
Right.
Apatyam. Sun. Kapilam. Lord Kapila. Harim. Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhu became. Achiritaha. Very soon. Vatsa. Oh dear Vidura. Nispriha. Unattached. Tadrishe grihe. Such a home. Translation. O Vidura, thus always meditated upon her son, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kapila. She very soon became unattached to her nicely decorated home. Purport. Here's a practical example of how one can elevate oneself in spiritual advancement by Krishna consciousness. Kapila is Krishna, and he appeared as the son of Devahuti. After Kapila left home, Devahuti was absorbed in thought of him, and thus she was always Krishna conscious. Her constant situation in Krishna consciousness enables her to be detached from her hearth and home. And thus we're able to transfer our attachment to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There's no possibility of becoming freed from material attachment. SrimadBhagavatam therefore confirms that it's not possible for one to become liberated by cultivation of empiric philosophical speculation. Simply knowing that one is not matter, but is spirit, soul, or Brahman, does not purify one's intelligence. Even if the person has reached the highest platform of spiritual realization, he falls down again to material attachment because of not being situated in the transcendental loving service of the Supreme Lord. The devotees adopt the devotional process, hearing about the Supreme Lord's pastimes and glorifying his activities, and thereby always remembering his beautiful eternal form. By rendering service, becoming his friend or his servant, and offering him everything that one possesses, one is able to enter into the kingdom of God. As it is said in Bhagavad Gita, Tato mam tat tato gyatva. After discharging pure devotional service, one can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead in fact, and thus one becomes eligible to enter into his association in one of the spiritual planets. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Translation again. O Vidura thus always meditated upon her son, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Kapila. She very soon became unattached to her nicely decorated home. Hare Krishna, Bob. You made it. Good. So yeah, here we are getting some, you could say, transcendental instruction on how we can become detached from whatever we're attached to. So, as it's been discussed in the previous verses and purports about Devahuti, in general, Prabhupada's mentioning the psychology of a woman, because when the soul takes birth, or not takes birth, but when the soul enters into a particular body, then they take on, you could say, the conditioning of that body. So, for example, a dog, the soul enters the dog body and then they start barking. And so in whatever the body is. So similarly, the soul enters a female's body or a male's body, and they take on that particular conditioning, which, of course, you could say there's a general conditioning that happens. There's certain characteristics that these genders operate from, or in the boundaries of. So one of those, you could say, qualities that are in female psychology is that they become attached to the nicely decorated home. And I mentioned whatever the clothes and this and that, some of the different things, as we mentioned in the previous classes. So here it's saying that Vidura thus meditated upon her son, Krishna, Kapila. She became unattached to her nicely decorated home. So, and for a male, maybe it's not that. Maybe he's not attached to that, his nicely decorated home, abode, or temple, or ashram, or whatever. I mean, maybe they are, I don't know, but whatever the attachment is, everybody has their attachments. If one meditates on Krishna, then those attachments can be broken. Or in other words, they become unattached to those things. And Prabhupada says a practical example how one can elevate themselves. So we meditate on Krishna in different ways. I mean, we have our deity worship, which, although it's not the process for this age, it's never said anywhere in scriptures that the process is deity worship for this particular age. It's the process for previous ages. But although it's not the process for this age, it is still important. And Srila Rupa Goswami mentions it in his Bhakti Rasa Vitasindhi. Prabhupada translates that in the Nectar Devotion. And he says that not only is it in the important aspects of devotional service, but it's the top 5 most potent forms of devotional service. Deity worship's mentioned. So it's not that deity worship is second class or not important or just for people who can't do anything else. They're not qualified to do anything else, so you just put them on the altar. But actually, deity worship is one of the 5 most potent forms of devotional service. And we see that when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he instructed his followers, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and others, to go to Vrindavan. And what did he instruct them to do? Go to Vrindavan, write books, which we read now, these days, and establish temples, where there's, which means also deities. So it is important. One of the 5 most potent forms, important principles of devotional service, or forms. So that's a way where we can meditate upon Krishna. Krishna has so nicely appeared all over the world in the form of deities. So we could offer obeisances to the deities. We could try to bring nice things to offer to the deities, flowers or clothes or jewelry or food or whatever. We could bring ourselves, offer ourselves to the deities, offer our service in different ways. And this is a practical way in which we can meditate upon Krishna. It's very practical. And we have our 45th anniversary of Radhagiri Dari, Shri Shri Radhagiri Dari coming up. So it'll be a big festival. I don't know who's going to be here, but I mean, I have ideas.
Who are the headliners?
Yeah, I don't know. I have some idea of devotees who are going to be here. I haven't been here for 45 years, I think.
All right.
Bob's been here for 45 years, right?
Yeah.
When did you start coming to the temple?
84.
What is it?
84.
84.
Wow. Good to see you.
So,
Sorry for being late.
So yeah, these festivals are also important times where we could show our appreciation for the deities. Because it says in the Nectar Devotion that specifically devotees, because the whole Nectar Devotion is practically speaking what devotees should do, their lives and their time, but it says that one should attend the festivals for the pleasure of the deities. So the Abhishek and the Kirtan and so on. So yeah, the 45th is coming up. It's going to be a big celebration.
Is Bhaktidas Prabhu coming?
I don't know. We would hope.
Yeah.
I've been communicating with him recently on Facebook.
Maybe you could invite him. Come buy a ticket out. Money?
How's the budget?
I don't know.
They flew in Prabhupada disciples from all over the world for that festival.
Where?
Okay.
Oh,
LA.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll ask him.
Yeah, you can see if he has a plan.
If he's been invited.
So we meditate on Krishna by deity worship. That's one way, or the form. We meditate on the form of Krishna. And then there's the qualities of Krishna, and there's the pastimes of Krishna, and there's the name of Krishna. So the idea is to, as time goes on, become more and more absorbed and attached and meditating on the different, say, aspects of Krishna. Those different aspects of Krishna. So reading Krishna book, meditating on the deity, chanting the holy names, these are all different ways in which we could purify our intelligence, purify our mind, and ourselves, that we meditate like that. And then we become detached from all the other nonsense things. Which are, there's millions and billions and just nonsense things we become attached to. So we become detached from those. And this is actually how we become detached by meditating like this on different aspects of Krishna. And there's actually no other way of becoming detached. I mean, that's what Prabhupada says here, that we transfer attachment to Krishna, and there's no possibility of becoming free from attachment, material attachment otherwise. So if we want to give up, this attachment, that attachment, whatever attachment to smelling flowers, if we want to give it up, or whatever attachment we want to give up, which everybody, all devotees, everybody has their list of different attachments, then we have to transfer attachment to Krishna. Because simply, I remember I read my first book called The Perfection of Yoga. There's a picture over there on the far right where Krishna's speaking with Arjuna. That was on the cover of the book, The Old Perfection of Yoga. And I read the book. I was probably like 16 years old. Radhanath Prabhu gave me a book over there in Elkhorn.
Radhanath Das Brahmachari.
Yeah, Radhanath Das Brahmachari. Yeah, Radhanath Das Brahmachari. Over there in El-Cajon. El-Cajon means the box. It's like a box. So you're stuck in the box. So anyways, he gave me the book. And I read the book, and I was very attracted, very interested in what it said. But it said, you are not this body, you're a pure spirit soul. I specifically like that statement. Out of the whole book, I like that statement. And then I visited here, 17, and then joined when I was 18. Now I'm about to be 30. I remember Tirtha he had a meeting with some of the ashram devotees here some years ago. Maybe Ryan was here. Do you remember that, Ryan? He brought us over there by the library on the grass.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was, maybe 10 of us, more than there now. I know that. Maybe more than 10. And young, American guys and whatever. And Tirtha said, so, we started preaching to us, this and that. And he said, he quoted Sridhar Swami, Prabhupada's disciple, Sridhar Swami, Jolly Swami, they used to call him. Yeah, he left his body some years ago. But they interviewed Sridhar Swami and they said, so how do you have a successful temple? And he said, oh, well, you need 10 years and 10 enthusiastic devotees. So that's how you get things going. And then, so Tirtha Maharaj quoted that, and then he went on to say that, okay, so more or less he was saying that he wants to see if we're all ready to dedicate 10 years of our life. Make a 10-year plan. And everyone was saying, yes, Kijai, and all these things, and people were going for it. And then, and most of them what? They're not even in SanDiego anymore. You going to say something?
Well, just on that point, I was with Sridhar Swami, my godbrother in Bombay, and when I first went to India, that was the order of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. We had to sign. We had to commit to 5 years. 5 years.
I never knew that.
And if you weren't really ready to do that, then what is the use of your for ISKCON to pay for your airplane ticket, go there and do some touring thing and hello.
Yeah.
Good job. Thank you.
Welcome. So yeah, a lot of these devotees, actually practically all of them, they didn't stay in the temple, that's for sure. But not only did they didn't stay in the temple, which, okay, whatever, everybody has their, maybe it was difficult for them, and I'm not like shooting them down for it, whatever, they left. But But yeah, they also couldn't stay in SanDiego somehow. Maybe it was too expensive or this or that. They just left. They dispersed to different places. And some of them are doing, relatively well. Okay, some are doing okay. Some of them aren't doing that okay. But somehow they couldn't stay. But whatever the case is, that is an important aspect to dedicate a particular amount of time, like Abhinanda Prabhu was saying, 5 years or 10 years or whatever it is, to a particular place. Why? Because that's how you could get things going. That's how you could actually help, make some contribution. And Prabhu would always give the example of not always, but sometimes give the example of the shooting star. Has anyone ever seen a shooting star? Everybody's seen a shooting. Who hasn't seen a shooting star? Okay, everyone saw a shooting star. Great. I would think so. You all are old enough to see a shooting star by now. So what happens with the shooting star, Jamal? What exactly happens? Or Zach?
Well, it's not actually a star.
Oh, it's not a star. Okay.
No.
Okay. What is it?
It's a meteor or meteorite.
But somehow they call it a shooting star.
Yeah. But it's just moving very quickly.
Yeah, it's moving quickly, and then it's right.
It dissipates.
Yeah, then it's gone. So, shooting star or shooting whatever, falling meteor, whatever you want to say, has an aspect that oh wow, look at wow, so beautiful, and it's gone. So it's like devotees come and engage in kirtan and japa and preaching and all these different things, right? Deity worship, and they're fired up and ki jai and jumping up and down, and, right? But then all of a sudden, oh hey, where'd he go? It's like gone. He just like disappeared, somewhere. What is it called? Floating in the ocean of birth and death. So they're completely gone. And as time goes, you see so many. Like I remember, I was some bhakta many years ago in LA. I forgot his name, but he was like super enthusiastic. But then, he's gone. Like he wasn't there. He's just nowhere to be found. There's many people like that. So Prabhupada would say that you don't want the shooting star, falling meteor, whatever you want. He wanted some moons. They're very steady, illuminating. They have their faults, but means the spots, but they're still moons. That's important too. That because not only are we trying to free ourselves, but we're also trying to free others. In order to free others, we have to have a steady presence in ISKCON to actually try to help others. Because how are you going to help them if you're not even there? You have to be there. So that's an important thing. But anyways, I was reading in the Perfection of Yoga that that you are not this body, you're pure spirit soul. So I was saying, oh wow, this is very interesting, and I should check this out. So I came and I checked it out, and I talked with our friend Giriraj Gopal Prabhu. He was the first person I spoke with, brahmachari, at the time, and I talked to him for like 2 hours about the philosophy of this and that. Which I saw Giriraj actually at Earth Day. He hasn't been coming around for the last whatever. But I saw him there. Maybe he'll start coming around. But it's not good enough just to know that. Like, simply knowing that one is not matter but spirit, soul, or Brahman does not purify one's intelligence. I mean, Mayavadi impersonalists know that they're not their body. Even New Age people, they have a sense that they're not their body. Like New Age spiritualists, they have a sense that they're not their body. We also have a sense we're not our body, right? But that's actually not good enough, because that is all theoretical. That's theoretical knowledge. But we have to come to the realization that we're not our body, that we are a spirit soul. And above that, we have to come to the realization that we're a servant of Krishna. So if we're honest, then, we should be honest. And what is our realization? Have I realized I'm not the body? Or am I still operating like I'm the body, thinking that I'll be happy and satisfied by materialism? So yes, it is a challenge to realize we're not the body. It is not exactly easy, especially when everything and everybody in this material world is trying to push us in the direction that we are our body. Even our own minds are trying to push us in that direction, that we are our own body. So it is a challenge, but it's good to have a challenge. It's actually healthy. It's nice. Without a challenge, we become depressed, we become bored, we become frustrated, and people even commit suicide because they don't have a challenge. So it's like we're close to a cliff, right? And when we're close to a cliff, everything's good. If we're just very, very nicely, we're looking outside and seeing the ocean and the sun and everything. But you can imagine if someone's trying to push you off that cliff, it's not so nice, right? So, yeah, it's not nice. So that's actually what's happening, that we are on a cliff, right? Of course, this is all, what is it called? Hypothetical, right? We don't look like we're on a cliff right now, right? But we're on a cliff, and the material nature, she's trying to like push us off the cliff, right? In other words, she's trying to push us off the cliff into the ocean of birth and death, to be there with everybody else, nicely drowning, with no help practically. So she's trying to push us off. So we have to push back. That's just part of the program. Sorry to say. So the part of the program is we have to fight. This is just part of the program. And once we actually fight and become strong, we'll actually be no more pushing, practically speaking. In other words, she'll give up. And we could be more of kind of like a person who's kind of capturing people, you could say, or saving people. You throw down a life preserver down in the ocean. You're pulling people up, rather than kind of struggling to not fall off. You're pulling people up. So yes, it is a challenge to realize that we're not the body, but it's a good challenge, and we should strive for that. And the main process in which we do that is by hearing the Lord's pastimes and glorifying His activities, and thereby always remembering His beautiful eternal form. By rendering service, becoming His friend or His servant, and offering Him everything that one possesses, then one can enter the kingdom of God. That's stated in the Bhagavad Gita. That we engage in pure devotion, then we're eligible to enter into the association of Krishna, one of the spiritual planets. So when the idea is that we want to offer our very self, everything to Krishna, as we want to do full surrender. And therefore you could say that, or we could say that our bodies don't exactly belong to us. They belong to Krishna. They belong to the spiritual master. And we are just kind of, you could say, looking after our bodies. I mean, of course, Krishna is too, but we also have our responsibility to look after the health of our material body. So we're taking care of something, you could say, that is not ours, namely our body. So we should try to take care nicely. Just like if I have $100 that is mine, it's like, okay, fine. I could try to take care and make sure no one steals it, and I put it in the bank or whatever, and take care of it nicely. But if somebody else gives me $100, like, hey, can you hold on to this for me? And I have to take special care of that, because it's not mine, it's somebody else's. And they'll be super offended if I don't take care of it, right? But if I lose my money, then okay, fine, I just have to deal with myself. And if I lose their money, I got to deal with them. So similarly, the body that we have is actually not ours, it's Krishna's. So In other words, we have to take extra care of it, extra care. Why? For service, not for sense gratification, but for service. Etc. So by taking care of our body, by taking care of our body, our health, this and that, and engaging in Krishna service, hearing and chanting, we will become purified, and then we will enter into the association with Krishna, one of the spiritual planets, depending on our, you could say, spiritual emotion. We'll enter different places. Right? Some will go to Vaikuntha, some will go to Goloka, some will go to we'll hang out with Lord Ramchandra, different places. So that's dependent on everybody, their own attraction. So does anyone have any questions, comments?
Thank you. Like I've said before, therefore, the call of the hour is to develop the Vanaprastha ashram in our wonderful society of Srila Prabhupada. Because that's what it's talking about, how to become detached from your home.
Yeah.
Very difficult. That's all I have to say on that point. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. So you mentioned this idea of the understanding that through it's a challenge to not it's a challenge to remain on the spiritual platform, to go beyond the bodily concept of life. And I was just thinking about this idea of challenge. You know, Prabhupada would challenge his disciples so that they can grow, and he would constantly say this phrase like, "What is the difficulty?" And then he would say, "Do this and this," or like he'll give him a certain amount of time, or there'll be like some sort of transcendental competition. And so we see through challenges we grow. And so I wanted to ask if you can comment on that.
Okay. Well, Prabhupada was he was on a train in India. I'm just trying to get all these so that when I get up I don't make a mess all over the floor with the flowers. But when Prabhupada was in India on a train, and he had a few disciples, or maybe 10, 15 disciples, something like that. And then Prabhupada got a message from some Indian fellow who said that he wanted to establish a temple in Delhi. And so devotees didn't really know about that. And then Prabhupada, they stop off at the railway station, and then this guy's there. And then he said, "Oh, Prabhupada, we want to start a center in Delhi, and give me some of your disciples, and we'll get things going here." And then Prabhupada turned to some of his disciples, and he picked a few who could do it. So he picked Giriraj, Das Brahmachari, was Giriraj Swami. He picked Banu, which was Bhakta Bruce at the time, Banu Swami. And he picked Guru Das and Yamuna Devi. So
71.
Huh? 71?
Correct.
Yeah. So then he told the devotees, "Okay, so, get out and see what you could do." That's what he told me. And then they just got their stuff and they just got out right there in Delhi. Went over to this guy's house and they tried to spread Krishna consciousness. And yeah, it did help, in spreading Krishna consciousness. But it was, it was very uncertain. It was like a time of uncertainty because they didn't really know, like, when you're with Prabhupada and anything could happen. So like they went over to this guy's house and they stayed in this kind of shabby room, and they said that there's huge rats, like absolutely huge. Like they kind of more look like possums, but they're actually rats, like little dogs or something. It was just like, and anyways, it's rats. I don't like rats. They just freak me out. But yeah, so that was a challenge Prabhupada gave them, and they took it. And there's many challenges like Surabhi, the Krishna Balarama temple. He was the architect, and Prabhupada was pushing them. to get it done in a certain amount of time, the whole temple, building it.
Because one time he said I was pushing Surabhi so hard that I was practically whipping him.
Yeah. So Surabhi is pushing, so many devotees he was actually pushing. And I remember one time Prabhupada, he woke up his disciple Guru Kripa. And Guru Kripa was sleeping, and Prabhupada just woke him up like 12 at night or 1 in the morning. Prabhupada was translating. And he asked him, "Why are you sleeping?" And he said, "Well, because I'm tired, Prabhupada." He said, "Why are you tired?" He said, I'm not sleeping that much. Why can't you, be like me, not sleep that much? And Guru Kripa said, "Because you're a Paramahamsa, Prabhupada." And then Prabhupada said, "Why are you a Paramahamsa? You could also be a Paramahamsa." And actually, and Prabhupada just kept on getting on his case. And it said that when Guru Kripa said he actually started to cry. Because he was already sleeping like 5 hours a night or something like that. He wasn't sleeping that much. He started to cry. Guru Kripa was like a strong guy, he was like really powerful. And Abhinanda Prabhu had some association. So it's like really, he's not a crying guy. Not one to easily cry. Prabhupada made him cry.
Boxer.
Yeah, he's a boxer, whatever. Tough guy.
Really?
So, and then Prabhupada, seeing him cry, he said, "Okay, go get Krishna book." So then they got Krishna book, and then they read together, Krishna book. And Prabhupada said, "Okay, you can go back to bed now." So, and then he said he felt like he was a little boy, "Okay, go to bed now." So whether if it's that case, or if it's getting off the train, or so many different ways, there's like numerous examples how Prabhupada would push his disciples. And the idea is that he would push them so they could get purified. Because tapasya, right? Like Tirtha Maharaj was talking the other day, tapasya, austerity. That's human form of life. That's how you get purified. Tapo divyam, divine austerity, taking on difficulties. So Prabhupada would push his disciples so they could get purified, and also he would push them so others could get the mercy of Krishna, get purified. They could bring people to Krishna consciousness. So of course nowadays we don't have Prabhupada, you could say, physically here pushing us, right? I mean, it would be nice if we had Prabhupada here and he would tell us, "You do this, you do that, you go to China, you go here, you go there." He was pushing us. When is this going to be done? Whatever. It would be nice. And in many ways, nowadays, things are a little different from those times. The gurus also, a lot of the times, they may not push their disciples personally so much. Be good if you're lucky if they do. And also, interesting enough, is that when someone becomes older in Krishna consciousness, whatever, even not even that much older, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and then they don't have someone, you could say, kind of pushing them. So it's like they have to push themselves. Like, who's pushing Dravida Prabhu? Nobody's pushing him. He has to push himself. But he's, he knows how to do that. Kind Mangalarti every day, and waking up early, chanting his rounds. Nobody's asking Dravida, "Hey, you chant your round?" No, he's chanting. He has to push himself. So whatever the case, whether we have people pushing us or we're pushing people, this is all in a good way. In order to make advancement, we have to push ourselves, or somebody has to push us, something like that. And also, over time, you could say the spiritual master's in the heart. Prabhupada's in the heart. I mean, although the heart may not be so clean, at least in my case. The spiritual master's there, so he'll also push in from within. He'll give some inspiration. Hey, in other words, you'll feel an urge to do a particular thing. Of course, that has to be verified from external sources like that. But there'll also be a push to preach and so on.
It seems like to grow, the necessity of a challenge is necessary to grow, because otherwise there's every chance we'll fall victim to remaining complacent. And really, it's like we're looking for the desire to manifest, or we do want to do more service, and that means taking on challenges.
Yeah, it's a huge challenge. I mean, like Prabhupada pushed his disciples, right? And his disciples are pushing us, those of us who are grand disciples. And we're also supposed to push. So it's like, this pushing thing. Or else things just fall apart. Everything goes to HELL. Nothing works. Our spiritual life goes to HELL. Saving the conditioned souls goes to HELL. Hell. Everything goes. Just nothing works. Like nothing actually happens. So that's not good. We want something to happen. You wanted to say something?
Well, if I have 5 minutes, I can, or less, I can.
All right, you'll be the last.
Quick Srila Prabhupada.
You'll be the last person to speak.
Quick Srila Prabhupada passed away story.
Okay.
Anyway, so in 1973, when I first arrived in India, Tamal Krishna Goswami was the GBC, and my assignment after living there for 1 month in Juhu was, okay, now they get to know you, your assignment will be to the secretary to the temple president of New Delhi. Prabhupada said Tejas means Delhi. Tejas was also arrived shortly thereafter, and he became the principal developer of the project in Delhi. He's an unknown, pretty much unsung hero. Every day we would go, although we had an ambassador, by bus. Have you ever been on an Indian bus? Okay, and those, we had, one hand I had the briefcase with all of the life membership, materials, book, and, preaching and photo albums. And the other, on my shoulder, I had the book bag, to give to the life members. And Tejas Prabhu just basically had a diary, maybe another little book bag. We had to, the way we would get around is by running. And with one hand getting on a bus, hanging out of the door, basically. And that was how we preached. We would go through government office to government office, to the biggest people, in India, the top government officers of India. And what did we do? Without appointment, we would just go into that office. Okay, there'd be 10 secretaries, sometimes police. We're talking about Parliament, places that you would never imagine, like going into Washington, D.C. and going into stuff. So the people go, they would just be, they couldn't believe that, no, you can't go in there. And we just go right in and, talk to the biggest people, whether it be the Birlas, the Singhaniyas, the Muffat-Lals, but mainly government people that could assist us in developing both Delhi and the Krishna Balarama Mandir Vrindavan, and all of India. Okay, so Tejas would get assignments from the GBC. So to make a long story short, that was the kind of austerities that we had to go to. When Srila Prabhupada came to visit us in Delhi, because it was actually there was the city in the entire world, the temple, where Srila Prabhupada passed through more than any other.
What was that? Delhi?
Delhi. The Delhi temple changed many times during the course of...
Well, Prabhupada would go there a lot.
Yeah, because always that was the place he would fly into.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, anyways, I was fortunate to see him once in Delhi, and then later when he came to Vrindavan, I couldn't go, because imagine, Srila Prabhupada's 90 miles away and you can't go because you've got to maintain the fort. Okay? Just like sometimes we can't go to the Prabhupada festival and somebody has to take care of the temple. So, anyway, that's one point. Second point is, and George Harrison, Ravi Shankar, I couldn't see. Anyways, they were all there. But Prabhupada, when he was in Delhi, there's another quick story that besides seeing Srila Prabhupada sleeping, the next day during srimadbhagavatam class, it was called the Vedic, part of the temple was called the Vedic Cultural Center. So we were trying to introduce Krishna consciousness to the huge people of India, the wealthy and the aristocratic, the intellectuals. So we had this very nice room as a part of the temple that had many, nice chairs. It was all decked out very nicely. And Srila Prabhupada, there was a little stage, and Srila Prabhupada sat up on the stage, and he was giving the srimadbhagavatam class. And he picked up his cup, and he drank the water, and he poured it from the sky like this, right? This is before the class. You've got all these multi-millionaires, or equivalent in rupees, sitting there, and he takes his hand, right? Little finger like this. He sticks it up his nose, right like that, right up there. It goes like this for all these people, and then the other one, right? And there's a huge booger on his fingertips like this, and he reaches over like this, and he drops it, right on the floor in front of all these people, and then he takes a cup of the water and rinses off his finger and resumes his talking, and he did it in such a way that I guess we were just like shocked, but of course he did it in such a way that it was done just like a king, so wonderful, so transcendental, that nobody could complain. It was just amazing. And with that, Hare Krishna, Jai Prabhupada. Bhakti, let me just speak to you for a second. Okay. Just for a second, if you have a chance, before Prashad. Okay.
Don't try that, okay? Zach, you're preaching.
Oh, come on. I could pull it off.
Tell Zach not to try that.
My health's not great.
I could pull it off.
Better. After the Prabhupada,
Don't try that, right?
Hey, take this book.
Better after that. So wonderful.
Now I'm saying when you're giving a class in one of these house programs, just give me a second.
We'll go outside and talk just for a second.
Do you have a tissue?
Prashad, you'll take some prashad. Yeah. We'll try to get it. Okay, let's go.
Balarama.
Hey, what's that? Oh, that's good.
Hare Krishna.
Like many years of careful. I've been cultivating this creeper like very nice, watering it every day. Getting enough sunlight.
Very careful to water the weeds and not to water the people. Look, it's a senior devotee doing menial service. Jai. You don't see that very often.
Bhakti Swami. We went to Balarama.
Yeah, I need to save.
Yeah.
To save varieties to save rice.
What do you need the Christian service? Send you after. Maybe. 10 years, I don't know, 10 years, maybe that's your challenge, you said you wanted a challenge, maybe 2 months. 2 months? Really a challenge. Like a little. Yeah, I don't want to spend so much time now, because 10 years is too long for me. Send me somewhere, I don't mind.
Send you blackboard.
No. Well, eat pizza.
Send you blackboard.
Eat pizza and 10 extra rounds.
You're gonna manage Govinda's big preaching mission. Big preaching assignment. You're gonna manage the Sulab kitchen. Manage Govinda.
No, I'm not saying that Mayapur is not a place of austerity. If you want, you can be austere, but if you don't want, you can also not be austere.
There you go.
I want some some challenges there in
Okay,
preaching.
sending you to the manor. That works.
Well, maybe, yeah, you can do some preaching in the town.
To the cows and the sheep.
I don't know what I can do for preaching here. What can I do for preaching here?
You can chastise me. Preach to me.
I don't know, it's so, yeah, I need some. Maybe I could do some traveling Sankirtans. I never really got into that. The reason being is because I never liked not having a full morning program. That always depressed me. It's like you chant around, you sing all the songs in like 10 minutes, and then you go out and books away.
Yeah, I would never be
There's-
really interested in books, but I don't think.
I'm not books.
No attraction.
Probably like books. Prabhu said, if you get money, print books. He said, where's the book, where's the book, where's the book? I'm asking.
I can do it. I mean, I like distributing, but not like all day, full thing.
Well, in the evening you have a big harinam, in the morning you have a big harinam, in the evening you have a big harinam. That's the day, I suppose. I do both.
Well, what about...
Vishnu done some, you do both.
Yeah.
He would be singing, he would distribute books.
Yeah, that's it. What about... There's a lack of devotees going around having programs regarding what Padma is our lady. Your Harinam, book distributions, and your big program.
Harinam distribution. Where? Everywhere?
In the temple. And you invite other people to come to this program to organize it, and then you distribute books. You know, like when your ashram comes. Or Radha's Swami, they do like 300.
They sell their books.
Yeah.
You're saying sell Prabhupada books.
Yeah, or your gurus.
So you're saying you do Harinam and bookish and where?
In the temple.
Huh?
Or like home. Actually, I was thinking more like home centers and yoga studio. Spiritual places. Because those people are already interested in some sort of something they can offer. Yoga, spirituality, meditation.
Okay. I guess what I was thinking about it, huh?
You can travel around in the blue van and you can sleep in the bag. Jamal can drive. And then Jamal can sleep in the seat. He's too tall. He's too tall enough to sleep in the back. But he can sleep on the seat. He can just lean the seat back. Sleep there. Yeah. We get the nice, cushy, hard car floor. Yeah, Jamal can do what's... Jamal can take the austerity, I know.
Alright. You want to be grumpy? What?
Grumpy for Krishna. Jai Shri Gauri-Nitai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Jai Gauri Nikai Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Jaya Gauri Nikai Hare Krishna Krishna
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangshan Shri Rupam Chakrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanitanstam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna